The first thing we're going to do is make our chocolate sponge cake. So I'm using 18cm pan, and we're going to add parchment paper inside and spray it with some cooking oil. In a bowl, add your soft butter together with sugar and cream that together. Then we're going to add eggs and mix everything until nice and smooth. Then add your sifted flour, cocoa powder and baking soda and give it all a nice good mix again. Add your mixture into your prepared tin and make sure you spread the mixture around so we get nice and even cake, and then place it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. Next, we're going to make our white chocolate mousse. So add your white chocolate into the bowl, then add a little bit of double cream and make sure everything is melted together. I've used the microwave, but you can also do this over the double boiler. Next, we're going to add our gelatin and give it a mix again. In a different bowl, add your heavy cream and whisk that until you get nice soft peaks. And then we're going to add our white chocolate inside and mix everything together until it's nice and smooth. Next thing we're going to do is line our baking dish with some cling film and place it onto the board. Then add your white chocolate mousse and place it into the freezer until it's nice and set. Now we're going to make our milk chocolate mousse. In a bowl, add your heavy cream and whisk it until soft peaks. And we're going to divide the mixture into two bowls because we will be using it for milk and dark chocolate mousse. Place a bowl over the double boiler and then add your eggs inside and whisk them lightly. Then add sugar and whisk again. We'll be whisking it for a good 5 minutes until the mixture becomes nice, white and pale, just like that. Then add your soaked gelatin leaves inside and whisk again and make sure you take it off the heat. Then we're going to keep whisking our mixture until it becomes nice and warm. In a different bowl, add your milk chocolate and place it into the microwave until it's nice and melted. Then we're going to add a little bit at a time into our egg and sugar mixture and keep whisking until all the chocolate is gone. You should end up with a nice brown chocolate mixture like that. Then we're going to add half of our double cream that we whipped earlier and mix everything together. Again, we have to do this in stages and make sure you don't whisk too hard so we have it nice and airy. Add your milk chocolate mousse on top of your white chocolate mousse and spread it around evenly and place it back into the freezer. Now we're going to make our hazelnut crunch. Add your hazelnut biscuits in the food processor along with your hazelnut straws and blitz away. You should get nice sticky mixture. Then add the mixture on top of your milk chocolate mousse and gently press so it's nice and even. Finally, we're going to be making our dark chocolate mousse. We're going to repeat the same process as we have done earlier. So place your eggs over the double boiler with sugar and whisk until you get nice, pale and fluffy mixture. About 5 minutes of good whisking. Then add your gelatin leaves and mix everything together. Then we're going to melt our dark chocolate and add that slowly into the egg and sugar mixture and keep whisking constantly until all the chocolate is gone. You will see it's going to go nice, dark and chocolatey. Then add the rest of your whipped cream inside and mix everything together until it's nice and fluffy. And there you go, there's your dark chocolate mousse. We're going to add that on top of our hazelnut crunch and make sure you spread it around evenly. Lastly, add your chocolate sponge cake layer and place everything into the freezer overnight. Lastly, we're going to smooth the cake and then add our chocolate mirror glaze on top. Make sure your cake is nice and cold and completely frozen. Decorate your cake the way you like it. I like to add some chocolate balls, hazelnut straws and extra cookies. I hope you enjoyed this video. This cake is insane. We are going to need dark chocolate, a shot of amaretto, vanilla extract, double or whipped cream, cocoa powder, caster sugar, balsamic vinegar, I've got some cookie crumbs, egg whites and some raspberries. Add your egg whites into your stand mixer. We're going to slowly add sugar 1 tablespoon at a time and keep mixing until it becomes nice and fluffy. Gently fold in your cocoa powder and chopped chocolates. Scrape down the sides and your mixture should be nice and chocolatey. So draw the circles on your parchment paper. Place enough mixture on top of each circle. We're going to let them cool down, but you're looking for nice crisp on top. While our meringue is cooling down, we're going to make the cream. Add double or whipped cream into your bowl. Add icing sugar. And we're going to whisk that until it forms nice and soft peaks. Add your amaretto, vanilla extract, and 1 cup of raspberries. Give it a good mix. Add your raspberry cream. Don't worry if it cracked a little, we're going to hide all the cracks with our cream. Lastly, add a few raspberries on top. For a big effect, I like to take some melted chocolate and drizzle over the pavlova. All the ingredients are going to be listed down below in my description box. But just to quickly go over, you're going to need some pecan nuts, eggs, sour cream, butter, chocolate biscuits, cooking spray, sugar, coconut shreds, vanilla extract, cocoa powder, cream cheese and evaporated milk. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to line it with some parchment paper, and I'm using a 9-inch pan, and I'm going to put foil just around and at the bottom of your spring foam pan. Add cooking spray into your pan at the bottom. In your food processor, add your biscuits, add sugar, add butter, and we're going to pulse this until it's nice and crumbly. Add the cookies into your pan and we're going to press them inside. Line your baking sheet with some foil and we're going to spread the coconut shreds on one side and pecans on the other side. I have just taken out my coconut, so just mix that in and we're going to leave it to cool down. Add your pecans into your food processor and we're going to pulse them just a little bit. In a large pan, add your egg yolks, your butter, evaporated milk, sugar and vanilla extract. We are going to bring this to the boil and then stir on a medium-low heat occasionally for about 10 minutes. We want the mixture to reduce in half. Once your mixture has reduced, we're going to add our chopped pecans in there and half of the coconut shreds, and we're going to set this aside until it's nice and cool. In a bowl, add your cream cheese, add your eggs, add your sugar and cocoa powder. Give it a really good mix until it's all combined. Add your melted chocolate inside, add vanilla and your sour cream. Add half of your cheesecake mixture into your pan. Use a spatula to smooth it over so it's nice and even. Add 2/3 of your caramel mixture into your cheesecake, just on top. Lastly, add your chocolate mixture on top. Position your cheesecake right above where you put your tray with water. We're going to leave it to cool down and then we're going to place it in a fridge overnight or for at least 8 hours. We're going to need dark chocolate, berries, sugar, coconut shreds, butter, cottage cheese. You can also use farmer's cheese or ricotta cheese, baking soda, sugar, flour, cornstarch, cocoa powder and eggs. In a bowl, add your cottage cheese, sugar, coconut shreds and 2 egg yolks. Take about 1 tablespoon of the mixture and form a little ball. Place your cheese balls into your pan. I've lined it with some parchment paper and roll them out just like that. In a separate bowl, add your egg yolks with sugar and we're going to whisk it until it's nice and pale and fluffy. Add your melted chocolate in. In a separate bowl, add your egg whites and we're going to whisk them until they form nice soft peaks. Add a little bit of sugar. You should have nice soft peaks and when you turn it around, it doesn't fall out. Into your chocolate, sift all your dry ingredients. Add your egg whites and then more dry ingredients and more egg whites until you form a nice batter. Add cocoa powder and mix that through. And don't knock too much air out because we want the cake to rise. Pour your chocolate batter all over your cheese balls. Pour your chocolate ganache all over your cake. We're going to need a lot of ingredients. All of them will be listed down below in my description box. Add cream cheese into your bowl. Add condensed milk. Add vanilla extract and sour cream. Add icing sugar. Add melted chocolate. Add cocoa powder. Fold in your whipped cream and mix everything together. In your pot, add your butter and sugar. This process is quite quick, so we're going to melt our butter with sugar. We don't want the mixture to be hot, it needs to be warm as we're going to be adding our eggs inside. Add your honey, add the eggs. Turn the heat back on and we're going to add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Keep cooking your mixture until it doubles or even triples in size and turns into nice sort of deep caramel color. Now you can see it's a beautiful honey golden color. We're going to add our flour and just mix in very quickly. Your dough should be nice and sticky just like that. Add cocoa powder and mix it in. The dough is hot, so just gently fold it in. Divide your dough into as many pieces as you can. I'm probably going to have about 8. Roll it into a ball and place it on the side. We have to work really quickly with this dough as it's hard to roll out as it gets cold. I've prepared a baking tray with some baking paper. Add your dough in the middle and we're just going to roll it out. Take the back of your dish and just mark a circle. I'm going to keep all the scrapes, so just push them aside. Let the cakes cool down completely and keep all the scraps. So once your layers have cooled down, we're going to place them onto your presentation dish and spread the cream around, and be quite generous with the cream because that's going to soften the cake. We're just going to finish up with our last layer, and we want to coat the chocolate cream all around the cake. Once you've decorated your cake, that needs to go into the fridge overnight so it's nice and set. Add your leftover biscuit into your food processor. I have melted some chocolate with a bit of butter and double cream. Pour your chocolate on top of your cake. Don't worry if it falls down on sides because we're going to cover it with our cookie crumbs from the cake. Go around with your chocolate on the sides. And there's no easy way to do this, you just have to take it into your hand and then press against the cake. Top your cake up with some fresh raspberries. Place the cake back in the fridge so the ganache sets on top.